Sorry, KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Nice way to begin the hour. Coughing my brains out. It's the Sean Rima Show. Well, I couldn't reach the cough button in time. It just happened. Racism, racism, racism. Who's a racist? Who's not a racist? So everything we talk about, it seems like, in public discourse these days in America has to do with who's a racist and who's not a racist, blah, blah, blah. Who's tolerant, who's intolerant, which came from the AP. Camille Charles, a sociology professor at the University of Pennsylvania, also testified at this hearing. She testified that Vento's sign harkens back to the, quotes, whites-only postings of the Jim Crow era. Whites only. She says the signs give a feeling of being unwelcome and being excluded. Because, you know, what matters in America is how you feel about stuff. Everybody's feeling that. What's your emotional state, how you feel going in to get a cheesesteak, you know, should dictate policy. We're just obsessed with not being offended, not offending each other. Do you have a... We need to... That's the next constitutional amendment we need. We need an amendment saying you have the constitutional right not to be upset or offended. People see the sign, they'll feel they're not welcome. Now, I've actually worked in a few restaurants over my illustrious broadcast career. And I've been in a situation where you're trying to take an order from somebody who does not speak English. If you're trying to take an order from somebody who speaks only Spanish and you have nobody around you that can translate, it's damn near impossible. It's just functional. It's pragmatic. If you come to this country, I don't care what nationality you're from, if you come to this country, learning English is the best thing you can do for yourself. Your life will be easier. You know what I mean? Your life will be easier. And I don't see anything in this guy's sign, in the language of it. First off, it's not a directive. It's not saying, get the hell off the premises if you don't speak English. It's saying, we request that you speak English. Please speak English. Bring somebody with you who speaks English, so we know whether to fry your onions or leave them raw. It's business, man. It's just trying to keep the line moving. Is there something inherently racist? Is that a racist statement? This is America. When ordering, please speak English. Is that comparable in any reasonable way to the Jim Crow laws of the 40s, 50s, and 60s? Is there anything comparable? Is there a comparison there in the language to, hey, if you're black, you can't ride this bus, or you can't come into this restaurant, or you can't go to this movie theater? It's a law. You'll be arrested. Because nobody's getting arrested out of Joe Vento's cheesesteak joint. If you can't speak English, the racist cops, the jackbooted thugs don't show up and kick you all over town and then throw you in jail. Please speak English. It makes it easier for all of us. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing the connection. See, I think a lot of times, especially highfalutin university professors, professores, they like to make just outrageous comments when they're making their comparisons. George Bush is Hitler. You know, America is essentially an imperialistic Nazi state that is just stomping over the rest of the world because we want to run the world. That, that if you have anything to say about securing the borders or encouraging folks who come to this country to speak English because their lives will be easier and their lives will work better, not saying, get away, give up your culture, nothing of that nature. Don't forget you're Mexican, don't forget you're Hispanic, don't forget you're Latino. No. If you want a cheesesteak, it'll work better for you if you can do it in English. But these highfalutin university professors, it's just as worse as the Jim Crow laws.
And the sign says, long-haired, freaky people need not apply. So I say,
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Now, if I'm hanging outside a Philly cheesesteak place that says no long-haired freaky people need come in and apply, and I'm going to the Philadelphia Commission, I'm going to get me some discrimination charges. Even though I cut my hair. Signs, everywhere signs. Okay, this is the story of Joe Vento. He testified this past Friday defending his store, his cheesesteak. He has a cheesesteak joint. Yeah, a cheesesteak joint, and he has this policy of, he has little signs that say, hey, when you're coming in here, please speak English when you're ordering your food. Is that racist? Is that a racist policy? I don't think it is. But maybe I'm full of crap. Let's see. Let's go to Larry in Irvine. Larry, you're on KFI. What's on your brain?
Yeah, I'm a professor, and I think this is the wrong decision by the owner. And if he wants people to learn English, he should put up vocabulary words and hand out, flashcards and be positive about it.
Flashcards? Are you serious?
Yes, not everybody
flashcards.
is an English speaker. Maybe they're just learning.
Should he hire an English teacher to be on site and, hey, before you order that cheesesteak, we're going to do a few lessons here.
Sure, if he's that concerned about people.
If I go into a restaurant in France, are they going to afford me that if I can't speak French?
Well, the French doesn't pretend to be the free country and free everything. If you have
it's only racist in America then.
It is. If you have to speak a certain
and you're a
language,
professor,
then it's not freedom.
What's that?
If you have to speak English, then it's not freedom.
But is the freedom something that should be afforded you by a guy who runs a cheesesteak joint, or is that your Isn't it your freedom to make the choice to learn the language of a nation so that you can operate in that country, so that you can communicate with people?
Sure, that's
this guy's got to provide flashcards for people.
Well, just going around and being negative and telling people that you have to learn.
He didn't say you have to. He said you got to order. Please speak English. It makes it go better. It makes it easier.
Sure, it does make it go easier. But if not, you're going to deny making money just because somebody wants to say a different word?
It sounds to me like he wants to encourage people to be able to order in his store so he can make more money.
Well, the way you encourage people is by showing them the way and giving them a path to learning. And
so should he have said
denying them is not the way.
But he's not denying. He's saying, please speak English. He's not saying you can't order if you don't speak English. He's not saying you're not allowed on the premises if you can't speak English.
So
what if he said,
let's say you're hungry, you want to go
what if the sign said, I have no translator in Espanol? Would that be equally as racist?
That's a good question. I don't know about that.
Well, see how you are.
Well, just looking around here, I know if I go into, let's say, a Japanese sushi place and I want to order something in Japanese, they're not going to say, no, you have to speak English. Well, if you want to speak Japanese...
This guy's not saying, no, you can't have a cheesesteak either. This guy is saying, when ordering, please speak English.
Nothing for you.
Yeah, right. It's like saying, hey, I can't translate it. I have nobody on staff who can translate it. I haven't quite discovered the funding to hire an English teacher to do flashcards with you at your table before you order.
Well, maybe you just
please
take out
speak
language
English
altogether. Maybe just take out language altogether and just put pictures, and then everybody will be happy.
Oh God!
What is this dude talking about?
Jeez, your university tuition hard at work there. Flashcards. It'll make people feel bad. It'll make them feel bad. I've actually attempted to take orders in restaurant work from people who don't speak English. Now it's really, really difficult. It's really difficult. It's extraordinarily difficult if you're trying to serve a customer who you have no ability to communicate verbally with each other. And I don't think I think the reason people are saying this is a racist commentary or racist statement is because, well, it's mostly aimed at Latinos. No, it just so happens that most of the people that go into this guy's cheesesteak joint are Latinos who can't speak English. And he's trying to keep the line moving. But it's all about who's a racist, who's a damn racist.